Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation all since Yerachim. They're, of course, out there risking their lives and their freedom to bring out the Samath, which is the truth of the scriptures. My brother Mappa from Great Millstone Plain Tables Camp, located here in Great Babylon, which is America, coming again with another lesson due to Ruach Kodash, which is the Holy Spirit. We have here off of this site, which reads prophecyinthenews.com, which it appears to be a so-called Christian website, in which I'm gonna just say it already. A lot of these typical Christian or Christianity, they look at the elders and apostles and of course the doctrine that the elders and apostles at Great Millstone do teach, and they learn from it. And of course also these Edomites, a lot of them of course know the fact that the Rfid microchip is the mark of the beast that the Bible speaks of. So you have it here. I'm going to start with this actual article off of Mashable.com and link it to this other article off of that particular website. It says smart eyelashes and fingernails, the next wave of wearable tech. You have it here. I'm going to click around and read certain excerpts. It says here that it was crowded on the side. It was crowded on the sidewalks of Hong Kong. Early morning commuters, soldier tightly pressed against the strangers walking next to him, moved in a sluggish blob through each brimming intersection. Katie Vega didn't mind the congestion. If anything, it made the ideal people watching. She's done a lot since she's moved to the city 2 months ago. She noticed many of the women on the streets donned artificial eyelashes and flashy fingernails. It wasn't anything over the top, just basic accessories with a trendy kick. That day, Vega suddenly formed an idea. Could she merge microtechnology into fashion? And you have it there. You have a particular Shah or woman that thought up this idea here. Women, of course, they are very attracted to things that are pleasant to the eyes. And you can read that in the book of Genesis, which I'm going to go to the book of Genesis 3:1. It says, now the serpent in the garden. This is the so-called white man. All right, that's the spirit of the so-called white man. He was, of course, melanated back then. Was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahweh power had made. And he said unto the woman, which this woman was Adam's wife. All right. He says, yea, power said, yea, or ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Which, we know the trees and such are people. It says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruits of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the power said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Which, this fruit is going into other philosophies outside of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You get the understanding of it. It says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Which that was a lie. Okay, you can of course go back to I believe Genesis the 2nd chapter, and you'll see the commandment which Adam, the man, her husband, gave to her, and she of course went off listening to the serpent, because it's through the woman we all die. That's in the scriptures as well. It says, I'm gonna go down to verse 6, it says, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes, the tree and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit, the philosophy of thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Which the woman was first in the, of course, in the transgression. All right, it wasn't Adam. It was a woman. She brought that to Adam. All right, so I wanted to go into this word for pleasant, which you have it here in by Abariath in the Hebrew, which is the awa, and it comes from the root awa, which means desire. All right, a desire, a wish, a longing for, a lust, an appetite, a covetousness in a bad sense, which to desire things that are outside of the law, statute, commandments is a very wicked thing. All right, which that's only going to lead you to destruction. And which in this particular lesson, my point is going to be is that, a lot of these women are going to take this RFID microchip. Of course, it's going to be marketed by Esau, who's the so-called white man, to make it very flashy onto them. Of course, give it different benefits, of course, because he knows the actual nature of a woman. Who, these women these days, they don't have men that are of any understanding. And these men, a lot of these men are going to take the RFID microchip. 2/3 of the nation of Yasha Allah, whom are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and of course our people scattered amongst the heathen, so you have the confusion of face, Israelite foreigners. They're going to hearken onto the devil, who is the so-called white man. All right, same spirit that was in the garden, the serpent. All right, and going to take this RFID microchip, which is going to lead to your destruction. Now I'm going to read more. It says the principle is similar to most wearable tech, only here the actual tech is disguised. While wearing accessories, people can accomplish everyday actions like opening doors or flipping through TV channels by blinking their eyes or snapping their fingers. And of course, you could go into this 5G technology and all with high speed downloads, no loading. It's just gonna be instantaneous with this technology that the so-called white man was blessed with. Okay, this is going to be the book of, let's see, let me see, I'm gonna go to Revelations 19 and 20. It says, in the beast, which is NATO. All right, you got NATO in the EU, right? There's the beast was taken. It says, and with him the false prophet. The false prophet being, of course, the Roman Catholic Church, that system and such, that wrought miracles before him. Now, these miracles, of course, is the so-called white man's technology, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. The image is the Roman system, and that's what today's society is based upon, the old Roman system. It says these both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. That's going to be within the nuclear destruction, and all that, of course, take this mark are going to be a part of that destruction. Which you have more women than men, and they're going to be destroyed. The heathen, it doesn't matter if they take the chip or not, they're going to be destroyed in that coming calamity. So here we have it here. Also another precept. Let me get another precept too. It's going to be the book of 2 Thessalonians, and I can start at the verse 9. Actually, I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, who's the wicked is so-called white man, the Edomites, to be 100%. All right, because they're so-called white. They're actually red, which Adawam in the Hebrew, which that's what Edom means. It means red, because their blood shows forth through their skin. It says, "Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth," which that's the mouth, of course, of the Lord is his prophets. They of course go out and they speak the word. You can go refer back to the book of, I believe, the book of Luke, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I could possibly get it, but I mean, for the sake of time, you should know that the Lord speaks by his prophets. You can also read the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter, and you'll learn that. Just look up the precepts for yourself. All right. So it says, "Even him whom coming is after the working of Satan, which that's the so-called white man, with all power and signs and lying wonders." And the so-called white man with his technology, he brings that. All right. And it says, "And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved." So which many of these women, a lot of these people are going to get destroyed because they won't believe in the Amath. All right. Nor have any actual faith, in the truth. Simple as that, because they weren't chosen. It says, "And for this cause the power shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie," which is a lie, that the so-called white man is going to push, to take these this RFID microchip. Now, this is just a technology right here, which you have here, the RFID, the NFC chip. You have people putting it, with these different biohackers. They're of course manipulating it different ways, but they have them already injecting it beneath their skin, because the same technology is actually put in your phone and such. Put in these different debit cards, which you can make cashless payments and perform certain tasks. And that's what the so-called white man, who is Esau Edom, he wants. He wants, of course, convenience. He wants his whole world, which the earth is given unto him, the wicked. He wants the whole world into subjection. And that's his way, of course, to try to redeem, or try to get his birthright, which he sold, to Yaquab, which, our forefather Jacob, who is the progenitor of the nation of Yasha'Allah. All right. The rest of the 12 tribes of Israel and such. Okay. He had his 12 sons and such. So, this is right here, right here. So I'm going to go down to this actual article. It says, "Recently, I read and published a magazine that told how you can build NFC RFID tags, which is radio identification device," which you go into it, the D. It says, "Right into your manicure, then command your gadgets with a fingertip. I found this very disturbing." So you have it here. They actually have an NFC chip in nails, which you have this primarily in the East, and places like Sweden and stuff. They're already ahead of the West with using this, but don't, of course, believe that it's not in the West, because you can look at that company 3 Square Market, who last year chipped over 50 people in Wisconsin. You can look it up, and we're gonna get into proving that this is RFID microchip is the mark of the beast when we break it down in Revelations 13. So it says here, the article says nail art has seen some advances in the past decades, from the invention of sucrose-based polish 100 years ago, through thin plastic false nails, to available everywhere acrylic sculpted nails. But it was about time nails went techno. On the security conference circuit They say Babel doll, aka Emily Mitchell, had been getting her nail technician to embed small devices with readable data into her acrylic nails, which on these NFC RFID chips, you can of course store data, which the so-called white man is going to use to bring about his new monetary system. You can of course not have to walk around with a wallet. You have your identification all upon and all your information on this particular device, which they want to embed beneath your skin when we go into it. But this right here, the technology is already here. You have people doing it and taking the chip, putting it beneath their skin. That's what actually taking the chip. But you of course now have it where these people are actually using these different technologies beforehand. This is just a pre I'm not sure if the pre I say just this the pre before the actual main bang. All right, when this is going to be mandatory, meaning people are going to have to take the RFID chip beneath their skin. All right, if they want to of course be a functioning member in society under this system, So it says NFC, a near field communication tags, are the solution, which this technology is you go to you have the different readers and they can read these devices, and of course you can do different tasks, where it be you pay for food or make different transactions. The possibilities are endless with this particular technology, which the so-called white man was blessed with. So going on, it says nearby magnetic fields. So it says Saki. It says the tags are the solution. They are tiny and powered by nearby magnetic fields, so they don't need batteries. It's gonna be self-powered, run off of you basically. It says in first NFC tag I tried to put in a nail was an NXP My Fair Ultralight CNTA G213. It says that I bought from a supplier to retail stores. So this information, of course, is being implemented throughout society. Okay, you have RFID tagging where different people or different retailers use it to have a better account on merchandise. Instead of having to physically count everything, you have it where they have these RFID tags on them. Okay, and this is what their future, which is already currently here. This is what they want. Now it says here, it says it's the thing that makes your shopping bag go beep when you leave if it hadn't been deactivated. I mean, of course, you can know that from being in these different retail stores, and you go out the store and it has that tag on there, and then it'll go off as a security mechanism. But anyway, it says that I guess they put in that too. It says I started searching online for tiny NFC data tags and LED lights, and I tried a variety before settling on the NXP My Fair Classic 1K. All right, so now I'm just gonna skip and fast forward, okay, because you get the understanding. You see how they're painting it. You got the different tag, all right, and it's even easy. It's actually cheap. It says the article goes on to tell you how to build an NFC RFID nail, and it costs only $15. And it says it uses your data nails to trigger tasks on your phone or your homebrew NFC project, or use the LED nails to show that your NFC card is being read when you hold it near a reader. When that's dealing with when you do a transaction. But now, this is a technology, and the so-called white man, he actually wants to put this in your actual body. All right, he has the Rfid technology, which is look like a grain of rice. All right, the chip, and that's what it is. So I'm gonna read it. They have it here. The actual precepts is Revelations 13 and 16 through 18. It says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. And who is he, the so-called white man, who is Esau Edom. All right. It says, it's the elite, right? It says, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. When you, of course, look into that word mark in Greek, is charagma, all right, which is is when you go into the. Let me see. I could just go into it real quick. Let me pull it up. It's gonna be an incision when you go into it. It goes beneath your skin, so that you know, so that you can get some understanding. Revelations 13. Slock. I just picked the other one. Slakiachium. This lesson seems a bit long, but I mean, this is all to the spirit of power Yah B'Shem Yahweh Shai. It says here, Revelations 13 and 16, right? So it says that to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now you go into it, you got charagma in the Greek, which it means a stamp, an imprinted mark. Okay, it says of a mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand. You got the brain implants and such too. All right, a badge of followers of they got anti-anointed, which I mean, obviously, if you take this chip, you going off. You're gonna get destroyed. And it says a thing carved, so that's what it is, a graven work, and that's going beneath your skin. All right, a scratch. They got an etching. Okay, so this is going beneath your skin. This is an incision, which of course you can read the book of they got the law, and the law, the Leviticus, I believe 19 and 28 will bring up the law for you Hebrew Israelites, which that's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, or Native Americans. And of course you confusing the face those Hebrew Israelite foreigners who their father's line go back to a Israelite. All right, simple as that. And this is all to do Ruach Kodash. This is to do the spirit. If your spirit bear witness with our spirit, with the scriptures, you're Israelite. Simple as that. So this is Revelation or Leviticus 19:28. It says ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. So you're not supposed to take any cuttings in the flesh. Simple as that. All right, you have here mark. You got kwai here in the Hebrew. All right, which you got it here, an incision, an imprintment. So we're not supposed to take any you're not supposed to have tattoos. You Israelites, and of course you're not supposed to get any incisions. All right, beneath your flesh, and that's what they're going to want to make mandatory soon. Okay, simple as that. So I'm gonna get one more scripture and just close out. This is 2 Timothy 2:15. It says, "Study to show thyself approved unto the power, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." And of course, you have a lot of people that say that they don't know what the mark of the beast is, or if the mark of the beast is Christianity, and all these different things. I just broke down. The elders apostles broke down. What the Rfid microchip is, all right, or what the mark of the beast is, which is it is the Rfid microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Simple as that. So you got understanding, so you've been warned. All right, so with that, you can't of course say that you wasn't warned. All right, so with that, I'm gonna say call halal yimla Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai B'Shem Chakodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who were well. You have it here, these different wearable tech, which is just before this things of course be mandatory and go put to be mandatory to be put in your actual flesh. These are the things that are occurring beforehand. All right, the technology is already put out and warned in the scriptures. That's how you know it's true. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.